We can let that inner child, that worried voice, that insecure part of us that really doesn't have critical faculty, it's going to try to derail you during sleep. But who's really in charge, right? Who is really in charge? You are. Hello everyone, welcome to the latest episode of the G-Spot. I'm Gila Zak, and I'm here to create a space where you can ask me questions about human behavior and hypnosis, and I'll do my best to tell you how this can work for you. So today we're going to talk about sleep. Yes, I get this a lot, and I bet you do too, because you know what? Everybody does it, right? Everybody sleeps. At least I hope you do. Anyway, the idea being that when we try to go to sleep, it's a naturally occurring process that we can really make more difficult than it needs to be. So what I will say is that when it comes to bedtime, your space for sleep should be only for sleep and sex. So your bed, you need to make it only for sleep and sex. Because what happens is so many people are lying in bed doing things that don't have anything to do with either of those two, and it's causing your brain waves to get faster and faster. Reading in bed is fine. Reading in bed is fabulous for many people. It actually puts them to sleep. And this is because it's focusing your attention onto something outside of the external world for the most part, so it slows your brain waves down. And those alpha brain waves are the doorway to sleep. They take us into the hallway of theta, and then in that hallway of theta, we can get really dreamy and drifty, and we can just let ourselves go into sleep. So an example of what you shouldn't be doing in your bed is multitasking. You shouldn't have your cell phone right there with alerts and notifications coming on. You shouldn't have your tablet next to you while you're scrolling on a bigger screen for whatever the fuck it is you're scrolling for. Then you shouldn't have the TV on. You shouldn't have these multiple factors going on that are you're taking in all that sensory information, and it's overloading you to the degree that your brain is having to try to process all these bits and bobs over here, and it keeps you in that beta brainwave state, because that's the busy beta that will keep you from falling into sleep. So that's my first piece of advice for those of you who are wondering, how can I get better sleep? The next thing I'll say is, I love animals. I love animals. And one of the biggest factors my clients will tell me that keeps them from sleeping comfortably is they've got their animals on the bed. They snore, they get up and off the bed. Some animals will come and sit by their head and wake them up. And if that doesn't bother you, great, more power to you. But if you're going to a hypnotist to try to get to sleep better, and one of the issues is that you have these animals on your bed coming in and out of the room, making all this fuss, waking you up, you need to get the animals out of the fucking room, okay? Now, I love them. I know you love them, but we gotta create space sometimes, right? Just like we do with our kids. We love them, we wanna cuddle them, we wanna have them with us, but sometimes for you to get better sleep, it's gonna be a matter of putting them in their own space where they can feel comfortable, whatever that means. So think about it, okay? Maybe, maybe not, but I see it all the time. Now, you all have already heard of the way to optimize your environment for sleep. So for some of you, it is having a really dark room. There's so many people online telling you how you should sleep. So go find that with them. That's not my purpose here. But what I will say is if you can create an environment that is the most conducive to no distraction, less movement, less interruption, you're gonna sleep better. Here are some tips that you can use right away to find yourself falling to sleep more quickly, sleeping more soundly, deeply, peacefully, and restfully, and awaking in the morning feeling refreshed and ready for the day. One of my first tricks I like to do is kind of start thinking in slow motion, because if those brainwaves are cycling beta, and you're just thinking about this and that, which is not unusual as we're falling asleep, recapping the day, maybe prepping for tomorrow, do that in a more slow motion fashion. If you're a visual person, see it going slower. If you're thinking it, just think it slower. If you're an auditory and you might hear something, hear it slower. The next thing I will say is if you're someone who is unfortunately suffering with discomfort or pain, some people have chronic issues, here is where focusing on your body while you're trying to go to sleep through either progressive relaxation or meditative processes of mindfulness actually are counterproductive. If you're already very body-centric, if you're already focusing on your pain and you're noticing it, for many people, the last thing you want to do is focus on your body while you're trying to fall asleep, because the pain is just going to become more aware to you without the external stimulus of life distracting you. So my advice to you would be to close your eyes, and as you breathe, roll the eyes up under the lids and then let them come back down. You might want to cycle this with your breathing, maybe every other breath, whatever works for you. And then focus on everything outside of your body. So as you're lying there, start just remembering the objects in your room. How many windows are there? Maybe you go further out into the house and just start thinking of the things outside of your body. And that will slow the brain waves down. And so what'll happen is that you'll drift off to sleep. So that's a great trick that you can try. Tell me what you think about that. I don't know, I think it's great. One of the things that I like to remind people of is there is absolutely nothing that you can problem solve, fix, or change, or really truly need to do in the time that you have set aside to get sleep. So don't try to solve the world's problems. Don't worry about the war here or the election there or whatever the fuck is going on in the world, because there's some crazy shit happening. Give yourself permission to think about that some other time. Give yourself the gift of saying, this space is for me because you matter. And your sleep matters. And without good sleep, we don't have the resources to meet the challenges of everyday living as effectively as we want to. So one of the first things I tell people is give yourself permission to not have to fix it. Problem solve it, change it. And it really is as simple as that. I know it sounds like, well, that sounds good in theory, but can I do it? Yes, you can. Because if I can do it, you can do it. And I will lay there sometimes and literally I hear myself wanting to think about, oh, I have to do that tomorrow, or I need to make sure to, that's a great idea, I should. And then I literally tell myself, go the fuck to sleep. It's that simple. And if you want to dive a little deeper into this, there was a fabulous YouTube video that I will put the link in the description below. It follows a book that was written a few years ago. Some of you may have heard of it. It was written by a father who is just basically exasperated with his child wanting him to, do all these things before he went to sleep. And the dad's, would you just fucking go to sleep? And what I love about this video of the book where they show you going through it is there's this, the illustrator has this little child and then there's the adult. So think of your monkey mind as the child. It's trying to derail the process of going to sleep. But your adult self, logic, reason, intellect, superior judgment, it knows that you just need to go the fuck to sleep. So check out the video because it's great metaphor, it's great visuals for seeing how we can let that inner child, that worried voice, that insecure part of us that really doesn't have critical faculty, just gonna go off into worry land, it's gonna try to derail you during sleep. But who's really in charge? Right? Who is really in charge? You are. So if you're interested in how to find other ways to get to sleep that might be outside of this, we might consider that maybe there are some histories or traumas that could keep us from sleeping the way we want to. I've had many clients over the years who lose their ability to fall asleep quickly or sleep soundly because of a life trauma or a big change. Maybe they become conditioned to be a caretaker for a child or an adult and they have to stay at a lighter state of sleep, be more vigilant. So where hypnosis comes in is we can help you to truly put those experiences in the past and live more present in the present to sleep more peacefully. If you found any of this information helpful or useful in any way, please like and subscribe. Leave your questions or comments below. I truly look forward to hearing from you and seeing how this may be helping you. Till next time, thanks for spending time with me on the G-Spot. Bye.